Hi, my name is Chris from Yacht Bar and Kitchen, and you're watching Friday at Foster's.
We're taking a look at this vessel, so we're going to give them a quote. The vessel was hit by a strong wind and pretty much got totaled. So it's going to be a lot of fiberglass repair, complete paint, bottom job.
But you can see this is broken. Yeah. So right off the bat, we know this is broken. You got cracks here. If you look at where Juan's got, this is broken. And this is usually wood, if you can see. This is wood, you got cracks and cracks. So most likely we're gonna have to strip all of this wood and laminate it in because it's probably jarred or pulled away from the impact. So that's why they're calling for a full repaint, because you got this stuff everywhere. So instead of trying to spot everything in, because the hull's shiny and dull in certain areas, you just gotta repaint it. That way everything's uniform. I can already tell this is gonna be a big job because you got a lot of body work to fix first, all over the boat before you can even think of priming and painting. So all the body work has to be fixed. You're looking at 6 to 8 weeks right here to get this done from the time we start to the time we finish. What else we got going up here? I'm telling you, look at that. That's a piece of tape. You can tell this is tape. Somebody pulled the tape off and ripped the paint, and the same thing happened here. You can tell this is a piece of tape because it's got no scratch, chip, or damage, so it was from tape.
Same thing there. So when they peel that tape, the paint comes off. And why the paint comes off is because it wasn't properly prepped underneath, and that's why you see it peel off like that. All right, so that's just a party on the amount of work we got to do downstairs. Now, let's see what they got waiting for us upstairs.
And right up here, there's not a whole lot of damage, but there's just, if you can see, there's chips and nicks and scratches, little dings in the fiberglass. And if you notice here, this is all cracked. You see how I'm pushing in this? Something hit that. So if you look over there, that's all cracked.
This took a significant blow in the wind. This had a panel here. Panel went flying, now it's missing. But as you can see, the aluminum inside is broken. So all this has to be replaced or repaired actually. So we remove everything, anything that could be repaired, we repair it. If it can't be repaired, we replace it.
Now that we've looked at the boat, we got a pretty good idea of the work and the scope of work that needs to be done, but no problem. We could fix it. We do this all day long. So what we'll do is we'll generate a repair quote for the insurance company, the owner, and see if we can get it approved and put it in our schedule and get started on putting this baby back to the way it should look and get them back out on the water. In the meanwhile, Juan,
let's go look at the boats.
Let's go.
Hey folks, here we are on Wednesday, and I wanted to let you know, see, we finished up this boat that we started last week. So you can see, look how pretty the bottom job came out. Let's walk around and take a nice quick look at it. This is what we like to do before we turn it over to the owner. We like to inspect it, make sure it came out as advertised. Perfection is in the details. If we have the camera zoom in, you're gonna see how beautiful this Prospeed looks. We're actually the #1 applicators of Prospeed in all of Florida. Look how pretty that is. When we're done with our bottom paint, they decided to remove their old underwater lights and replace them with new. So now we're gonna redo the paint around the lights, and then we're gonna redo the Prospeed on the lights. Hey folks, so here we have another vessel. Now they had actually done an emergency repair on this bottom. They had something perforate the bottom, and they did a temporary emergency repair, and it wasn't done right, or at least not to our standards. So if you see, we have actually grounded back, and we're gonna start laying up some staggered laminates. We're gonna lay up at least another 3 layers of staggered laminate so we can make sure it's a nice strong repair and it won't cause damage later on in the future. So here we are inside the vessel where we have several different projects going on at the same time. You're gonna see here the mechanic, he's doing a service in the generator. So we were hired to do a complete service. We're gonna change the oil. We're gonna replace the impellers that were just dry rotted from sitting in the boat for so long. Then right here we had a battery box table that was loose, and we have actually glassed it onto the boat to give it a nice sturdy surface. And now it's ready to reinstall the batteries. So here we are in the bathroom. Now we've actually received this vessel, and the cabinets were misaligned, they weren't placed right. They were redone and made, but they weren't installed properly. So my carpenters have actually removed everything, realigned it, adjusted it, put it back into position. We're working on the panels, making sure the panels are all flush, looks like something professionally done. If there's anything that we don't like, we're gonna remake it. Just to show you a little example of what was done previously. So these panels were made, and I'm not saying that they were made wrong, but look, they were left loose, they move around. You know, nothing is exactly where it needs to be. Everything should have been Velcroed on and adjusted properly. Now we have the task of figuring out the exact location. You can see, this can't be left like that. So this has to be adjusted, and it has to be located, and then we'll go ahead and we'll Velcro it in place. and make sure that it looks good. If it doesn't look good, we're going to take them out and remake them so that it could be nice, tight fit between everything. As you can see, this gap here, that's not allowed. I mean, it just doesn't look right and it's unprofessional. What you want is something that when you put it all together, there's no gap in between the two parts and everything's touching. It looks more professional, clean. Nice job. That's why they called us in. We're going to try and straighten out a lot of these little mistakes. Hey folks, and to end this week, we're actually ending with a beginning. We're beginning to work on the bottom of this boat. As you can see, it's a humongous bottom job. It'll probably take us about 10 to 12 days to complete. And we're just starting now, so I'm going to walk you around and show you how we start. So as you can see here, we're starting the prop speed stripping. Now, prop speed stripping, we use these little plastic brushes. It doesn't damage the metal in the prop, and it removes all the old prop speed. Then we'll go back and we'll sand the prop speed off again with an 80 grit. We'll acid wash, and then we're ready for our applications. This is just the beginning. We'll show you a lot of clips of this project as we go along. Hey folks, welcome back. As you can see, we've commenced sanding on this big, humongous bottom. We're going to do our new bottom paint on. Hey folks, this is another project we just got. Let me walk you around and show you some of the jobs we're going to be completing. He's got issues with water penetrating the vessel, so we got to remove the rub rail, investigate why is water getting into the boat, and fix it. Then we'll reinstall the rub rail. Another job that we have in this vessel is that these teak steps are actually leaking and there's water going inside his crew quarters. So we're going to actually remove these steps, investigate why is the water getting inside the crew quarters, repair the issue, and then remake new teak steps. Stay tuned, you'll see the finished product. Another job we have in the same vessel, these are leaking into the vessel, so we're going to actually have to remove them completely off the boat, see why they're leaking, and then reinstall these housers and make sure there's a nice, good seal and prevent the boat from rotting from the inside. So we just did a complete inspection of this vessel. It's about to go in the water. That wraps up this job, wraps up this week, and we'll see you next Fridays at Foster's.